Good morning, guys. Let me start by saying I don't know if my camera's going to stay where it is. It's actually my iPad. So we're going to give this a shot. And if you hear dogs barking in the background, it's just mine. There's nothing I can do about it. They are in a separate room. But if one of the neighbor's dogs come into the backyard, they will go crazy. Today I'm going to be making my stress relief soap. I've used this fragrance before. It works well in soap, behaves nicely, and I'm going to be using the heat transfer method. So I'm going to start off by getting my lye solution into my hard oils. I already have those pre-measured out. If you do this method, please be careful when pouring in your lye so that you do not splash it onto yourself. I hope you can see this all right. Okay, throw this into the sink real quick. All right, now with the heat transfer method, for those that have not used it, all you do is put your hard oils that you would usually melt down into a container, mix your lye solution, and when your lye solution goes back to clear, then you pour that into your oils and let that melt your oils. After your oils are melted, then you can mix in your liquid oils, which I have here already measured out, and I've also added my kaolin clay and my coconut milk powder into them. This does take a few minutes to do, but I've found that it saves me a lot of time doing it, overheating everything and waiting for my oils and my lye solution to come down to a good temperature to soap. I checked my lye temperature before I poured it in, and it was at 179. Halfway melted oil temp is right now 120. So as you can see, the lye temperature will come down quickly. When I'm done with this, I will be pouring off for two colors to color with. I will be using a blue and a green. My base will primarily be white. The green and blue I will use for drop swirls. If you hear periods of silence, please forgive me for that. This is the very first time I have ever filmed me making a soap batch. As you can see, I always get stubborn pieces of shea butter that take forever to melt down. If it's not completely melted when I add in my liquid oils, it will be when I hit it with the stick blender. And like I said earlier, just please use caution when trying this method so that you do not splash the lye solution onto yourself. If you do, get it washed off of you as quick as you can with cold water. It's recommended that you rinse that part of your body for 15 minutes in cold water or until you no longer feel the lye on your skin. Okay, that's all melted down. I'm going to throw this spoon into the sink as well. Now, I will pour in my liquid oils that, like I said, have my kaolin clay and my coconut milk powder already in them. And any undissolved pieces of the kaolin clay and the coconut milk powder will mix in once I hit this mixture with my stick blender. Remember to scrape your stuff as well as you can to get all those goodness pieces in. Alright, time to stick blend. Burp your stick blender to get rid of any air bubbles. And I always start on low because I can hear if I've still got air bubbles into my mixture. Now, just so that you know, my temperatures have now dropped to about 92 degrees. That's a little warmer than I usually soap if I do the traditional method. But I've also found out that I have not been having any issues with it. I know my lighting probably isn't the best on here, but I have really bad lighting in my kitchen, and that is where I make my soap. Okay, I have brought my mixture to emulsification, which is what I normally do when I'm doing drop swirls. That way it gives me time to add my fragrance, which I'm going to add in now. It is Stress Relief that I buy from the Flaming Candle Company. They are a local company to me, so when I order my fragrances from there, I have them within a day. Let's give that a blend. Again, burp your stick blender. Alright, it will get more mixed in as I blend in my colors, but for now you can smell it really nice, and to me that shows me that it is blended in well. Alright, let me grab my containers, which are sitting right here, so that I can pour off and split my batter out. I had a piece of lint in there from my towel. Okay, there's one. And there's two. Let's give that one a little bit more. My gloves are white. Okay, that is about 12 ounces of batter that I have separated out for each color. But like I said, this is a predominantly white soap with just a little bit of color for the drop swirls. So now I'm going to stick blend in my titanium dioxide. Air bubbles. There we go. I will blend it. I will blend my white till I get up to a light trace. And there we are. I'm going to scrape off as much of my white as I can. And then I'm going to mix up my green colorant. But I'm going to leave a little of the white on there as I want to tone down my green just a bit. Get those air bubbles out before I add my colorants. Now the green I'm using today is Minty Mojito from Rainbow Micas, who are now under the name of Prismatic Pigments. I'm just going to add in a little touch to begin with and blend. Definitely need more than that. Just a touch more. That's not quite the green I'm going for. Excuse me. Light trace with that one. Set that aside for a minute. Okay, now for my blue. For my blue, it is also a Rainbow Mica, aka Prismatic Pigment color. And for this one, I use Good Morning Glory. Good Morning Glory has to be one of my favorite micas that Ken carries. Alright. Let's give that a blend and see how we are. Add some more. And I don't know how it comes across on camera, if it looks like I'm adding in a lot of mica or not, but I do stick within the recommended usage of them. Alright, I'm going to go ahead and add in the rest of my blue, just to get it where I want it. I want there to be a nice contrast between the blue and the green in the soap. Alright, let's clean this off. Get my stick blender into its water cup and out of the way. Just give that a quick zhuzh. Now, as you can see, I should have a very nice contrast between my two drop swirl colors. So let's move those to the side and get my mold. Give my white a mix. Got a piece of fuzz in there too. Let's get that out of there. Off my dish towels. I just dried these out. Okay, I'm going to start. I'm going to pour a nice layer of the white in while I make a mess. That's okay. That's what paper towels are for. Give that a little tap. You'll have to forgive me. I tap on my counter. Now let's drop in some of the blue. And now the green. This Stress Relief fragrance is one of my best-selling soaps so far. Let's give another tap down. Now we'll go in with another layer of the white. Oops. And my soap, not on the counter. I'll add just a little bit more blue and green before I do off my top. For this particular soap, I do not do any other kind of swirls other than the drop swirl in it. Once again, I'll tap it down. I will layer on white gently. I don't care if the top of the soap is completely covered in the white or not, because I am going to swirl the blue and green into it, so it's going to come through anyway. Clean up my edges real quick. For this demonstration, I'm just using my little 2.5 pound mold, I believe it is. Okay. Now, drizzle my colors on the top. Add some of the green. The extra batter will get poured into extra molds for me, but I will do that off of camera. Okay. I'm just going to take my handy dandy chopstick and swirl the top. Alright, and once again I'll clean up my edges. This one I'm not sure if I'm going to add glitter on or not yet. So if I do, that won't be shown on video, because this is a very popular scent with men. And I've found that they just do not care for the glitter on their soaps. But there you have it. My stress relief soap and my first video. Thank you for watching.